You're a Dragon Ball Z fan, it turns out.
I am.
I feel the need to test you now. In true Dragon Ball tradition, it is not enough for me to simply just confront you and us to talk for an hour before we actually do battle. We must now do battle. In so much as I want to ask you, I want to test your fandom a little bit here. You've fed me some Dragon Ball trivia. You've even sent me, and this is a lovely thing. If you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, check out Dragon Ball music covers because my God, they are great to work out to.
Unreal.
Here we go, right, okay. I'm going to start with a nice, easy one. This should be relatively straightforward for you, because it's just an opinion one. Just a nice and easy one, okay. What's the worst form? The form that you saw, the light is emanating, the dust settles, everyone looks, and that's it? Huh. Okay. I guess we're going to fight that. What's the worst form?
I'd probably say the original. Like, I just thought the original form of Cell was just garbage.
Really? What? So, are you talking imperfect or semi-perfect?
Like imperfect Cell.
So, but proper Bugman Cell, you didn't dig, not at all.
I didn't like. I also didn't like the original form of Piccolo. Like, I fucking hit them two there. I didn't like them. Like, and then when, oh, bro, I could go down such a wormhole, right? But the reason with Cell, I just thought with Cell, like, give us a fucking Freezer, man. Like, for me, I think Freezer is the best villain. All forms of Freezer caused motherfucking trouble. These other forms got shut down because Goku always either directly dealt with it or had a hand in it getting sorted out, or somehow sacrificed himself into getting it sorted out. But like for me, every form of Majin Buu, Kid Buu, fucking brilliant. But the forms of Cell, I just thought you could have done so much fucking more with this. But then Perfect Cell, mental.
All right, an interesting choice. Imperfect Cell, interesting. Okay, all right. I don't have to agree with you, but it's an opinion.
No.
It's all good. I mean, it's certifiably
just
wrong.
For instance, quickly in a nutshell, what would you say?
Oh, the fusions that don't work out. Cause he's super thin, and he's so fat. Dude, there's a monster destroying the world. Why are you doing comedy right now?
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying, like, you know, like...
See, there we go. We politely disagreed with each other there. I like that.
but the Cell stuff is interesting because, again, I understand that they were going for a different type of villain where it was almost Terminator-esque. You know what I mean? You weren't trying to beat him necessarily. You were just trying to slow him down and just try to get to the thing he was going to get to, rather than a Frieza or a Buu who's
even
just
the old
overwhelmingly
Red Ribbon,
powerful.
right? Red Ribbon, like when it was going through all that saga, that was fucking sick, bro. That was sick because everything was out of the box. You didn't know what the fuck was going to happen next. But yeah, I could just go on all day about that.
That's fine. Okay, this is a slightly harder one because I'm going to take away one of the answers that's most obvious. Without naming Yamcha, who is the most useless character throughout all of the arcs? And it can't be Yamcha, because Yamcha is the answer everyone gives, because being Yamcha is an insult in Japan.
Are you ready for me to be a bit controversial here?
Oh, interesting. He's got a controversial choice? Go on, then.
I'd have to say Krillin.
Why? Oh, okay. Wait, no. There's a way of justifying this, but I'm interested to hear how he justifies. Okay, go ahead. How do you justify Krillin as the most useless?
Because, right, Krillin, once they became quote unquote teenagers, Krillin was useless. Then he fell in love with a motherfucking robot and became a policeman. That's my justification.
Okay.
See? See? That's my justification. So,
Krillin,
all this you did, Krillin, everywhere you went, following Master Roshi round, you was there. You could have been the guy. But you fucked it.
I would just say he does have the Kienzon though. In fairness, he does, and everyone. Frieza stole it, I think. Did Cell might have used it? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know Frieza definitely did.
It's so just like that's my answer, and I'm sticking with it.
Interesting. Okay, Krillin is the most useless character. Suck on that, Yajirobe. Interesting.
There you go.
All right. Well, and Yajirobe at least did take off Vegeta's tail, so I suppose there's that. He directly contributed to the downfall of it.
And he became very good at baseball.
He did. And I'm just trying to think, did Krillin ever contribute to a villain's downfall? I don't think he did he? I don't think he ever was actually
he hid and stayed with the women or the children every single fucking time.
Interesting.
Well, I suppose he did serve a purpose in that sense. There was even times he got knocked out and left them defenseless.
Yeah, I mean,
laid there like a little
bitch. He's the white mage, and he's the guy with the sensu beans, man. Without him, there's no sensu beans.
Yeah, I guess.
But he's saying Krillin, he's sticking to it. Okay, I like that. Okay, Krillin, interesting answer. I wouldn't have said that, but it's a good answer. I was going to say, by the way, if you're going to make the argument for Krillin, he fucked everyone over in the Cell Saga when he didn't destroy 18. He had to just press the button and everything would have been fine. But he had a roboner, and that's that.
Excuse me. Then he fell in love with a robot and became a policeman.
All right. So, what's the move you would have most liked to have used when you were mimicking it when you were younger? Because we all did. It's okay. I tried a Kamehameha and a Death Ball and all the rest of that sort of shit. What's the move you would have wanted to mimic the most?
Special beam cannon, hands down.
Makakosapo. Okay, all right.
There's no denying it. Like,
yeah, man.
Bro.
Interesting. Oh, straight up, Disney. What if he used two hands? Have you ever thought about that? If he used two instead of just the one? What would happen?
Nah, it's got to be one for effect.
It's got to be one. Okay.
This is the whole effect about Piccolo, yeah. Piccolo is indirectly the coolest motherfucker in the whole of Dragon Ball. And that is why he's hands down my favourite character from the jump. He's always been my favourite character. My two favourite characters in Dragon Ball has always been Piccolo and Trunks.
Interesting. Trunks.
Interesting. The reason why I love Trunks, is because Trunks does not give a fuck. He's just out doing his own fucking shit, defending his shit. No one can fuck with him, and then he comes back and he's still the shit. Like, don't play with Trunks, man. Trunks is the guy, man. Don't play with him. But yeah, Piccolo, because Piccolo can do that shit with one hand while he's floating in the air. You know, one of the coolest moments in Dragon Ball, the first time Piccolo took his weights off, and you realize that his hat and his cloak and everything was weighted, because you never knew. They did so well at keeping that quiet for so long, and then the time when it was like toom, and it hit the floor, and you was like, what the fuck? And his power level just went. Yeah, man. Bro. So
I do appreciate that the Frieza movie didn't Resurrection. It had its moments, but it was generally not well received. But I do love that bit where he takes off his hat, throws it to one guy, crushes it. Two other guys wait, what happened? He goes, don't worry, I've got one for you too, and throws in the shoulder pads and they both get crushed. It's a silly moment, but it's just one of those things where you go, okay, this is what can happen if you let them have fun with their character traits, rather than just, what's his power level? He's not as strong as the other guy.
Like, bro, I liked when fucking Piccolo and Goku was going for fucking driving lessons, bro. Like, it's just fun shit.
It was fun.
Just fun. And it's a lot of filler, like, and I did it the long way, bro. I didn't watch none of the cut shit. I watched all that shit, bro. All of it. But yeah, what we got next?
Well, I got to ask you, this is more of an opinion then. What do you make of them trying to distinguish, obviously, notwithstanding the fact that it's clearly a marketing ploy to try and sell more shit, granted, but the idea that they're now getting away from this idea that it's just, whenever there's a Super Saiyan, they scribble out the number from the previous transformation and write the next number. They're now trying to give each Super Saiyan their own individual characteristics when they ascend. You've got Beast Gohan, Ego Vegeta, Ultra Instinct Goku. Like, what do you make of that? Do you like that, or did you like it when it was almost like a lineage, like Saiyans would progress through these levels together, or do you like the dichotomy?
I think it was a lot more like, it meant a lot more when there was numbered, like Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 2. I think that it makes it sound a lot more, and I think when they're calling it like Ultra Instinct and shit like that, I think it makes it sound more like a move rather than an actual.
Agreed, yeah. Like
do you know what I mean?
Rather than a state.
Yeah, like Kaioken times 10.
Right.
That's what Ultra Instinct sounds like. It sounds like it's a move or a technique, or it doesn't sound like it's an actual form. Like, he's going Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan Blue, or do you know Super Saiyan God? That shit sounds like, oh my fucking God, we're about to see something. But then when you're hearing them, it just sounds like a fucking move or a technique.
Yeah.
So I prefer the old way is the answer, I'd say, to be fair.
That's a good. I like that. That's because I'm not sure how I feel about it yet until because if they go back to original Dragon Ball philosophy, which is, it doesn't matter how strong you are, but it was what the people forget about Dragon Ball is that it was a martial arts based cartoon in that there were different techniques. People have different abilities, and like the UFC, styles mesh to make fights rather than just, well, these two are ridiculously strong. There's 20 people over there that are going to go, oh, and then that's going to be the state of play for an hour, rather than there's like 8 different guys. And I think they tried this with a Tournament of Power, if you've seen that. I presume you have.
Tournament of Power was, I loved every second of it.
There you go, because each episode they tried to embellish on certain characters. Like, look, how do you justify sticking Roshi in there? Well, he's a martial arts expert and a master that surpassed, like, he's tricky. Doesn't matter that he's not as powerful as everyone else. He's tricky. He tricks people. He gets them into positions like that. I love watching that, because then it's wrestling. There's a story being told here. It's not just two guys lumping the shit out of each other. It's, well, how is he going to navigate this? I don't know. Do you want to watch and find out? Okay. And it plays from there.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
All right, then. Final question. And there is only one right answer to this. Best battle in all of the Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball arcs. Any battle that you can think of. It can be a contained battle. It doesn't have to be the climax of the series. But you got to pick your favorite battle. The favorite exchange between combatants. What are you picking?
And
it can't be Yamcha versus the Cybermen. Because, of course, we all love that battle.
do you know what? I would have to say Tournament of Power. The last fight where everybody chipped in together, and like Frieza could have been a horrible bastard, but he really did that. Like that had me sat on the end of the seat. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of like fucking hell. Goku and Vegeta have had some fucking. I know it sounds a lot basic and it'd be a go-to fucking answer, but Goku and Vegeta have had some fucking right battles. Gohan has had some fucking right fights. Like there's so many different like fight scenes you could go for, but for me, the last elimination in the Tournament of Power where there was all having to chip in together was fucking mental. And I also think it'll be interesting to see what we're gonna get after that. Like, I really hope they run with Jiren as a character and see where we get with that, because there's so much they could do with him. Because he had me hooked from the minute I saw him, and he was just sat there meditating, and there's all this madness going on. Like, his team that they had, that universe team was, I loved that team. I thought that the way they put the teams together, and I thought it was just perfect, and I just hope they don't fuck it. Literally, I hope they don't, because they're liable to. But I enjoyed the last two movies, so is what it is.
All right, man. I can fully respect that, because in terms of cinematography and the choreography of that battle, where it's swaying backwards and forwards, like it doesn't just sell like, oh, Vegeta, and like there's that bit where Jiren makes the comeback, and then and oh man, it's too hard for me to describe. You have to check. It's on YouTube, man. If you Google Tournament of Power Goku Frieza, it's there for you. It's about 2.5 minutes, and it's gonna be your ringtone when you're all said and done with it. I promise you. Because that fucking
mental.
The music and everything coming into it, man, is great. Also, I will say Vegeta with one of the best lines in Dragon Ball Z, in that when he's coaching him about Jiren, he's like, "Go, Kakarot, trespass into the domain of the gods." Ah! Go on then. All right, Vegeta, you monologue king, you. Go on.
Yeah, I mean? When he says Kakarot, he means every fucking word of it.
Yeah, man.
There's no denying it.